Tune in every second Sunday of the month for Real Talk with Yolanda at 1:30. Then stay tuned for the Hard Talk with Jakim on Channel 190, serving our Delaware community with information and action. Welcome all of our viewers. This is your man, Jakim Muhammad, with the Hard Talk with Jakim. Now, we're come on every second Sunday of the month, right after the Real Talk with Yolanda. So you should check us out about 2 p.m. You should see the Hard Talk with Jakim. Well, listen, we would like to welcome all of our new viewers and all of our good viewers. So we're going to big shout out to Wilmington. Big shout out to Wilmington. The Route 9 corridor, that's where we come from. We're actually in the lovely village of Dunleaf. That's where we tape our show. So if you're on the Route 9 corridor, you know that Jakim Muhammad is right here. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But we also want to give a shout out to Smyrna, Georgetown, Middletown, and Newark, Delaware. We'd like to welcome y'all to the fold. This is the Hard Talk with Jakim, and so I'm just going to discuss a couple of things that we do on this show. So right over my shoulder on that side, you'll probably see a lot of stuff like the overlays that we like to put in. We talk about a lot of things: politics, wellness, economics, and of course civic engagement. But we also talk about things that are important to you. We're hyper local and we try to keep it that way. So first, I would like to extend my condolences to all of our friends and family out there who have lost loved ones in the last month. I see you on Facebook, I see you on Instagram. I see that a lot of people have lost some really fantastic loved ones out there, and my heart is heavy. Both me and Yolanda have you in our prayers. We also like to extend heartfelt condolences to everybody that was affected by last week's mass shootings. Let me just say this. These mass shootings that we have in America seem to be from one side of the political spectrum. Have you noticed that? That the progressive, so-called liberals, blank, they're not the ones that's doing the mass shooting. It's the ones that's trying to defend Second Amendment rights. And you know I'm a big fan of defending Second Amendment rights. You got to be a big fan of that if for only one reason. In our country, we have a history of violence against black people. We have a history of violence against other people. We have a history of violence against women, of the people who are the weak, or people who were minorities. So I want you to understand that I understand the concept of the Second Amendment. And if you've seen the history of our country, you would know that I want everybody to be able to carry a firearm that's responsible. So that's what I'm going to say about that. Now let me get back to this. Why is it that the other side is always doing mass shootings? Why are they riling up? Now some people could say that it's this or that, but I just want you to notice that it's not the liberals, it's not the progressives, it's not those people that are doing those mass shootings. That is very telling. So let's go forward. let me just give you a real shout out to the 2020 Democratic debates. Now, last week we had the 2020 Democratic debates, the second one. Those was on CNN. A lot of political theater. People were calling me up saying, yo, how do you feel about it? What do you feel? Blah, blah, blah. Well, I have to say just this. No one came out a clear winner in any of them. No one came out a clear winner. So right now, as far as I'm concerned, until September, until we actually change it, I don't know what we're going to do. So actually change and pick a nominee, or there's a clear winner, or somebody seems to have made an October surprise. I don't know what we're going to do. So I'm just going to leave it right there. Now, I do have a couple of things that I do want to talk about, and let's get hyper local. Now, if you live in Dover, and if you live in Middletown, I want you to pay close attention to what I'm going to talk about. It's something of real importance in any of these municipalities. About 2 weeks ago, you're going to see it over here, and about 2 weeks ago, around 3 weeks ago, I actually posted a nice meme of two cars that were being booted in Wilmington. I saw it on walking down on Market Street, and believe me, I had just received a parking ticket about 2 months earlier. Well, I had to appeal it, and they denied my appeal, and so I had to pay that parking ticket. So I saw the two cars, and they were right next to each other, and they were booted. They had the little yellow boot on them. And I said, wow, this would be a great picture, because the color was really nice. But when I posted the picture, I got a lot of response on Facebook. So again, if you did not know, I'm on Facebook. You try to reach me at Jakim Muhammad on Facebook, or at The Real Jakim on Instagram or Twitter. So when I posted it, I got some responses with it. Some people said, oh my God, those people should be booted because they are scofflaws and they haven't paid their bill. And some people said, wow, that is crazy. Well, what happened was, we actually posted, when I posted that up, I actually got a call. And I got a call from a number of people who said that they were very versed in the way Wilmington deals with parking tickets. Now, if you're not from Wilmington, we've been dealing with a parking ticket issue, with a parking violation issue from roughly around 2011. So this is not a knock on our administration that's there now, but believe you me, this is something that has not been fixed now for almost three different administrations. So what happens is, some people say, and I'm just going to break it down, I thought I was unfairly given a ticket. And I was on North Market Street, and I thought at the time that North Market Street had you had free parking because it was during the holiday season, and they advertised that. Well, they said I was mistaken. They said this and that and not and the other. So I took it and I did it, and I said, okay, I'm gonna pay for it. Even though I put an appeal and I never saw a judge or anything like that. Well, this lady put in an appeal, and let me just find that for you. This lady put in an appeal. Her name is Carol Arnett Robbins. She put the appeal in, and she went through the whole 9 yards on what she believed was an unjust parking ticket. Now, she appeared on the Rick Jensen evening, 12 o'clock, midday show on July 26th. So I actually called up on July 29th, because that Monday he actually had that same show, because he just kept getting, and that's on WDEL. I'm going to give a big shout out to Rick Jensen. That was because people were just calling up. People were calling up, giving a lot of information about how unfair they think the parking enforcement system in Delaware, well, let's be honest, in Wilmington. And Wilmington being the largest city in Delaware, so I'm going to say that, let me just read this to you. After that issue happened on Rick Jensen's show, AAA Mid-Atlantic jumped in. So AAA Mid-Atlantic said, hey, there is something going on. So I'm reading this from the Delaware Business Now, is dated August 1st, 2019. So Carol Arnett Robbins, a local real estate, discussed her parking ticket battles with the city that led callers to recounting stories that they experienced with apparent bogus tickets. Now, she said she had parked her ticket and the ticket reflected the time where she was actually sitting in the car. So she evidently was not in violation, and she also said that she put the required coins in the meter. So this is a big issue, and this is an issue that's been going on way too long, for at least since 2011. You know, I'm the biggest supporter for Wilmington. Don't let nobody knock Wilmington. I love Wilmington, and people will tell you this stuff, that they'll listen to all the stories or whatever, the gun violence, and they don't really go into Wilmington. They may go on Market Street or the riverfront, but they don't really get to it. So I'm a big supporter of Wilmington. But what I'm not a supporter of is bogus parking tickets. What I'm not a supporter of, no appeal process. Not a big supporter of that. And if you give me a situation where I have to come into the city and I have to park and I have to be scared that I'm going to get a $40 ticket. Hold on, let me go back there. $40 ticket for a city the size of what? A little bit over 72,000 or close to 72,000, either way. 72,000 people, and your parking ticket is $40. Now, it's been $40 for some time now. Don't get me wrong. Right now, almost $40 is right at the upper echelons of parking tickets for cities our size. But think about it. It's been $40 back in 2011, 2010, and 2007. So it was way too much back then. Think about it. That's just some food for thought. Well, like I said, I'm a big supporter of Wilmington, and I won't let anybody knock my city, but we have to ask the city of Wilmington to fully review and audit its parking enforcement systems, their policies and procedures, ensuring fairness to the motorist and compliance with state and local codes. That is important. You have to have that. I hear, and when I'm reading the rest of the article, and when I read the rest of what AAA put down, a projected from the parking agency of $3 million? Wow. For a city our size, that we actually have, we're projecting that for the fiscal year that they're going to get $3 million. That means you're taxing a lot of people that don't live in our city. And we don't want to always tax our visitors to make our city be unsavory to motorists. And we ain't even talking about anything else as far as PR or as far as any of that stuff. I'm just talking about just unsavory to do business here. So I think we really need to really review this, and the city really needs to really reform their parking thing. Their parking agency, the collection agencies, that's all part of what happened in Ferguson. And that's all part of wherever we had hotspots in our great country, we've also had way too many taxes. And a parking ticket to me is a tax. Make no mistake about it. If you're only giving me parking tickets and I have no recourse to an appeal, to me that's a tax. So let me just I always like to give solutions. If I give you a problem, I want to be able to say, hey, I've got a solution. So here we go. So the AAA recommends that the following actions for motorists should happen. Anyone who has received a parking ticket from the city should obtain an outcome from those tickets in writing in order to avoid confusion in the future. That is important, and that's also important anytime you do anything with a criminal action. I know I've counseled a lot of people, especially if you don't know, I'm retired law enforcement from New York, and I used to talk to people and I counsel them. Now, I'm not a lawyer, so I do not give you law advice. what I will say is that always get paperwork. I'm not a lawyer and I don't give law advice, but I always say to whether my family members, friends, or anyone, if you're dealing with any organization, always get that paperwork to say whatever that outcome is. They also said that follow all the posted signs, and if there's any question about your parking spot, don't. That's very important. If you think that you don't know what the signs mean in Wilmington or in any other city, because let me tell you something, I fought a lot of parking tickets in New York. Any other city, if you don't know what they mean, don't park there. Do not park there. I'll tell you a real quick story. I was parked at a big club in Manhattan one time. It was called Nails. It was a very nice club on 14th Street. And in front of the club, there was nobody parked. Now, why in the world would I take my new Jetta and park it right there? I didn't read the signs. Within 5 minutes, they towed my car. That cost me $458 in front of Nails. Nails is not there anymore and is now a condominium, and it's a really expensive condominium. But that was my fault and I had to eat that one. So I'll just tell you that one. The next thing they have is if you receive a ticket and you believe it is illegitimate or legit or illegitimate, take a photo of your vehicle and the parking signs in the area and send in a written appeal via registered mail or certified mail and request a written response. That's important as well, because one of the problems that people were saying they were having was that they was appealing it and weren't getting responses, or the letter was sent to them really late before the late charges and accruing charges were put on it. That's important. So if you receive a letter, if you receive a ticket and you believe it's illegitimate, take photos of your vehicle and all parking signs in the area. Send in a written appeal via registered mail or certified mail and request a written response. That's just prudent. And last but not least, let me give you all this. If you notice if you receive a notice stating you did not respond to your ticket and you now owe more money, submit an appeal and then contact the city at 302-576-2620. I think that's 2620. But you can contact the city, and that's very important. Don't matter where you're at, what city you're in, I'm always saying get civic engaged and get involved. So that's important as well. So I just want you to remind yourselves on that. Make sure you get that in. The next thing I want to talk about is, real quick, we're having let's see, what date is that? All right, August 17th. Yes, August 17th. The 16th RD Democratic Committee presents a school supply giveaway Saturday, August 17th, 2019 at 9 a.m. between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. This is in memory of our man Kevin Holmes. If you don't know who Kevin Holmes were, Kevin Holmes was a brother that we used to see all the time. He died a number of years ago, but he used to give out book bags when everybody else wasn't giving out book bags, right here in Wilmington. So he died a number of years ago, and the 16th RD committee wanted to always honor his school supply giveaway. He didn't have a lot of money. He didn't have a lot of influence, but what he did was he was influential to the people that he gave out that product to. And so we wanted to make sure that Kevin Holmes' memory stays alive. And we wish all of our students a safe and productive school year anyway. So that's important as well. So we're going to go on a break, and I'll be right back with the Hard Talk with Jakim.
Tune in every second Sunday of the month for Real Talk with Yolanda at 1:30. Then stay tuned for the Hard Talk with Jakim on Channel 190, serving our Delaware community with information and action. YSM Insurance. Let us help to put the pieces together. Have you been thinking about Medicare insurance coverage? Life is full of important decisions, but you don't have to make this one alone. YSM Insurance. We would be happy to meet with you one-on-one to discuss your needs. Please contact us at 302-229-6376. YSM Insurance for your Medicare options. We are Kamaj Entertainment and Fitness.
All right. We're back with the Hard Talk with Jakim. Listen, we're going to change gear now. Now we want to actually talk about some stuff that a lot of you are always talking to me about, or when you see me on a bus or walking on Market Street or wherever that you always want to talk about. One of the things I want to give you is something that I was always told, that success comes when action meets clarity. Now, I'm going to repeat that just one more time. Success comes when action meets clarity. You got to be clear on what you want in life, and you got to be clear on how you want to get there. A lot of people don't have the intention. They'll talk that they want this, and they'll talk that they want that, but you got to have that intention, and you got to have that clarity. All right, so I touched on it a little bit early in the last segment, but I'm going to touch on it again because my mother loves calling me up, talking about, did you see the debates? Did you see this? And I love my mother dearly, so I have to talk about it with her. Democratic debates. Now, I know some of you out there already know how you'll feel about Democrat, Republican, or the whole two-party system. Some of my friends are independents, Republicans. I've got Democrats. And I've got people that I would call established Democrats. Big shout out to all my progressives out there. They like to say that a black guy that believes that everybody should have fairness is automatically a progressive. I don't know why is that. Wouldn't that be just a human being? Forget about it. But let me just give you this. One of the things that we've had a big time with is trying to tell people that they should get involved in their local and civics involvement. And politics. Let's just be honest. In politics as well. Some people will say, I'm sick of this politics. I'm sick of this. Or, I'm sick of all this talk or this or that or whatever. Well, to me, that's just privilege talking. Because you can't be sick of it. There's no way. It's like somebody telling me, I don't play politics. Well, politics is being played on you every day. Your landlord's playing politics. Your builder's playing politics. Your employer is playing politics. Everybody's playing politics but you, and you don't know and you can't understand why you're not getting ahead. Why you are living paycheck to paycheck. Why you're living the way you're doing. We have got to get intentional about our politics. We have got to get intentional about community. That's important to me. That's important. Look, if I raise your property values by keeping my lawn nice and making sure that there's no garbage, blight in front of it, we'll talk about the Wilmington blight bill. We'll talk about that as well. If I do that, that helps the community. It just doesn't help me. It helps the community. And let me tell you something. The best way to have people engaged in civics is not to come there to help you. There's a lot of people coming in there, especially liberals, these so-called progressive, they're coming into our neighborhoods to help us. I don't need their help. Not at all. Jakim says, if you're coming in my neighborhood, do it because it's your best interest. It's important to you because that'll make sure that you're doing it for the right reason and not just to be on the right side of history. There's a lot of people that consider themselves very progressive, immigrant rights or criminal justice for reform and all of that stuff, but they're doing it to help you. That's that little bit of white superiority that they have that they can't let go. I don't need you to help me. I need you to do it because it's going to affect you too. Just recently, I just saw someone had died in Texas. This was a white man that the cops had their knees on him, and he called for help. So I don't want you to do it because it's going to help you. I mean, do it because you think you're going to help me. I want you to do it because it's going to help you. And if that's the way you do it, people will always tend to put more into it, because what you learn is that I have a horse in the game. So we all have a horse in the game. I don't talk about immigration rights. I'm not an immigrant, so I don't talk about immigration rights because I'm trying to help the immigrants. I talk about immigration rights because even with them not having their rights, it's probably going to affect me somewhere sooner or down the line. So I'm not here to help them. I'm here to be with them. So that's the reason why I talk about those things. So this is very important. So the liberation is bound up when we are all bound together, when we all have a horse in the race, when we all have a dog in the game, when we all think that way, that's when we're going to have real liberation, and that's when we're going to have real stuff. So that's a little bit of me preaching there, but let me just give you this. I talk a lot of politics, and whether it be on Delaware Info Now or on YouTube, or which is on our YouTube channel, I talk a lot of politics, but I also love talking about music. I also love talking about fitness and wellness, and I do a lot of stuff with wellness. So I just want you to understand that when you're out in the street, you have a camera in your phone. I want you to take pictures. I actually want you to take pictures. And let me just stop right there and say, you don't have to always take pictures of the police. If that's your thing, I have no problem with that. I got no problem with it. If that's your thing, that every time you see a police arrest that you want to take pictures from afar, that's all right. But there's other issues in our community that are just as important. When you see a park bench that has been in disrepair for a long time, take a picture of it. If you see garbage and trash being left by subcontractors that are working for the state, city, or local municipalities, take a picture of it. The powers to be hate that. They hate when you take cameras. They hate when you take video, because one of the things they do is they can't dispute that too much. We've seen it in the other thing, Eric Gardner, Philando Castile, we've seen that. But they hate that because that means that they don't have the control of the narrative. And control of the narrative is the way they use the propaganda. So when I was in high school, I had a photography teacher that used to always say, the camera is the save button for the mind. So one of the things that we didn't do when I was growing up, even though I'm only 21 years old, one of the things we didn't do as much as our millennials and the younger people, they take a lot of pictures. They take a lot of pictures. And we didn't have that because we didn't have that technology. Hell, Polaroids were expensive.
We are Kamaj Entertainment and Fitness. YSM Insurance. Let us help to put the pieces together. Have you been thinking about Medicare insurance coverage? Life is full of important decisions, but you don't have to make this one alone. YSM Insurance. We would be happy to meet with you one-on-one to discuss your needs. Please contact us at 302-229-6376. YSM Insurance for your Medicare options.
In the United States, in our politics, is that when somebody doesn't run and give an incumbent a run, because then we don't have a choice. We got that person. They got to be primary. I want more people to be primary. Listen, we had a lot of people be primaried in the 2018 election. Let's make more of them primaried in the 2020. Let's make them do their job. And if they ain't doing their job, vote those bums out. All right, this has been the Hard Talk with Jakim. Listen, it's been a pleasure with you, and I want to welcome all of our new members from downstate Kent and Sussex County that are now part of the Channel 190 family. We're going to see you every second Sunday of the month. The Real Talk with Yolanda, the Hard Talk with Jakim. See ya, family.